So one of the things that I've discovered when I'm doing astrology readings for people is that we all have our own language. I'm not talking about love language. I'm talking about how we connect with other people language. And I find like the water signs, for instance, they want to connect with you emotionally. They want to ask, how are you feeling? Sometimes they'll relate that they have similar feelings to you. And that feels like they're relating to you emotionally. Like, oh, I know how you feel because I had this feeling as well. So the earth signs, for example, and earth signs, you guys have a tendency to problem solve. So when somebody's having a communication with you or conversation with you, trying to blend those two words together, there's a, I heard you could do this, or why don't you do that? Or how about this advice or that advice? The air signs, they have a tendency to be more relatable. And that is, I've heard about advice that could help you on an intellectual level. And I can relate, specifically Libras, because I've been through something very similar, but not emotionally. It's more of an intellectual storytelling. So it's not like I know how you feel. It's like, I know what you're talking about. I'm on the same page as you. I've got the same story. You want to hear my story? And then last but not least, we've got so I did the fire. We get the fire signs. I didn't do the fire. And that's Leo, Sag, and Aries. So there is a tendency, you guys can one-up other people. Like, oh, you want to hear my story? Want to hear about my job? Want to hear about my childhood? Want to hear about my broken finger or what happened to me? And there's also a tendency to be a bit competitive, but there's also a great cheerleading option that they have, and that is the ability to be able to cheer people on. That, oh, I know you can make it, or I know you'll do better than that, or that'll be great for you. Now we've got oil and water personality traits. If you guys are fire and air, if you guys are fire, if you're air, then your communication styles are very similar, so you're not going to be offending each other, hurting each other's feelings. If you are water, earth, or earth, water, then there also is a tendency to support and complement one another in communication. But if you are water and air, basically that's water and oil. And so basically if you're water and earth in a combination with either one of those, with water and earth, with fire and air, then there's a miscommunication and a discommunication, and the tendency to feel that they're not validating each other, they're not hearing each other, and they're not seeing one another. Now remember, you are not just your sun sign. You may be going, well, Holly, I'm a water sign and I don't relate to that at all. That's because you probably have a ton of air in your chart, or using sidereal astrology, you might have a completely different sun sign. AskHollyHall.com.